Golden Glass, a Lego Monkey Kid fanfiction written by Jukebox Draws, read by Jukebox Draws. Chapter 6, Broken Boundaries. Kai woke up the next morning before Macaque to more messages on their phone. You can't protect him. Come to this address. I want to talk to you. Kai arrived at the address alone. They knew Macaque tended to be a night owl, so he usually woke up super late if he had no plans that particular day. Nevertheless, they carried their car keys on them, which held a small can of mace on the keychain, should they need it. So, you actually decided to show up. The voice made Kai's fur stand on end and made their stomach do movements that they weren't sure were physically possible. I thought you didn't want anything to do with me. They didn't move. They stared straight ahead, listening for any movement around them. They were in the marina, not a lot of people to mill about and interrupt them, just the call of seabirds and the gentle splashing of waves against the worn wood of the docks. Aw, I can't visit my favorite slut? Kai growled, clutching their keys tighter in their pocket. I see you went and got yourself a new piece of man candy, he chuckled. He's 1,000 times better than you ever were. Kai crossed their arms. Adorable. The blue smoke surrounded Kai, making it difficult for them to see. They coughed and waved away the smoke from their face. They felt a presence behind them. I can tell you really like him. That's good. Now I know how much it'll hurt when I dump his body on your doorstep. Stop! Stop it! They shouted, whipping around. There was nobody there. I wonder how long it's going to be before he realizes you're just too much work, the voice chuckled. How long will it be before he gets sick of you, starts treating you like the piece of shit you are, leaves you? Kai held onto themselves tight, gripping the sleeves of their sweater. The smoke began to take shape, the shape of Macaque, bloody and broken in front of them, dropping to his knees in agony. Kai closed their eyes and looked away. And you'll come crying back to me, just like you always did. Just leave us alone, please, they pleaded, trying to keep the tears from falling. He laughed. Just you wait, Kai-jin. He spat the name out with mock sympathy. Kai grimaced. I will make you regret ever falling in love with Lu Irmihao. Babe, are you okay? You're flushed. Macaque brought the back of his hand to Kai's forehead, feeling for a temperature. Kai smiled sheepishly. Yes, I'm okay, darling. Just a little shaken is all, they said politely, holding Macaque's hand and pressing a tender kiss to his knuckles. Macaque wrapped his arm around his partner's shoulders. Don't worry, he reassured them. If anything tries to hurt you, they'll have to go through me first. Suddenly, Kai felt their breath run short at the horrid thought of Macaque being run through with a blade of a sword. They gripped his hand tighter. Just stay here with me, the copper-furred simian requested softly, nuzzling into Macaque's scarf. Always, he said. The next day, Kai had received no messages from him, no incriminating photos, no threats or signs of blue smoke, but they hadn't seen Macaque all morning. When they had woken up, he wasn't in the space beside them. He wasn't in the kitchen making breakfast, and Bai was still sleeping. Perhaps he had a mission, or perhaps... Baby, I'm back! Macaque came back, pushing the front door closed with his tail. Kai let out a silent sigh of relief, their grip on their teacup loosening slightly. I got breakfast! He set the takeout boxes down. They were from the bakery that Kai loved, just down the street. Oh, thank you, Macaque. Kai smiled softly. Macaque suddenly raised an eyebrow, and golden eyes looked them up and down. Kai stopped mid-bite of their pastry. Is something wrong? They asked. You're wearing that? He asked sarcastically, frowning a bit and pouting his lip. Kai suddenly looked a bit offended. Macaque had never ever made a comment like that before. Yes? What about it? The doctor set down their mug again. Just figured you'd want to show off that hot body some more, since the weather's getting warmer and all. Isn't that what all the babes are doing now? Macaque threw a magazine down on the table. Kai cringed at the swimsuit models and outfits that could barely be considered swimwear. Why did Macaque even own a magazine like that? Macaque, you know how I feel about you using that kind of language to describe me. Macaque should have known this. Kai preferred much more to be called beautiful or handsome as opposed to hot or any other sex-oriented terms. Macaque scoffed as he bit into a pastry, wiping the crumbs off his scarf. Oh, don't be so sensitive. It's supposed to be a compliment, he said, his mouth full. Kai's breath quickened. Macaque had never said that before, either. I think I'm going to go wake up Bai now. Her breakfast is getting cold. Kai stood up and quickly left the kitchen, heading down the hall to the little girl's bedroom. They bunched up their sweater in their fists, holding back tears. What had gotten into Macaque? That wasn't the shadow demon they had fallen in love with. Why was he putting up this front again? Weren't they past all that? And even so, his front of snarky remarks had never been that disregarding of the doctor's personal preferences. It made Kai feel disgusting. It made them feel how they felt all those years ago. And they hated it. To be continued in Chapter 7.